Okay, I'm in Wildcat Cave. I just went through it real quick. This time I'm going to take my time. Oh, what the heck? Oh, just a minute. My gimbal's being stupid. There we go. It has a self-preservation mechanism. If I accidentally move it too far, it locks itself up. Have to release it. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to maybe go a little slower this time. Look around since I'm doing good for time. Oh, see if I can get the autofocus to behave. There's not much ice in here. So, took off my crampons, so I'll be a little bit quieter. Now, I had my crampons on in video 1, and the sound of the crampons on the rocks was kind of noisy. I try to cave gently, but I have to be safe too. So, but now I know there's no ice, so I can just wear my boots, be a lot gentler and quieter. So this cave is not particularly easy. It's got a rough floor, and part of it has a trench you could fall in. So you have to be kind of careful, watch where you're going. But for an experienced caver, it's definitely not that bad. I think it's a really cool looking cave. Look how here there's different colors in the rock. Of course, the bright white stuff, that's bacteria. Of course, the green stuff here, that's moss. So, you know, it's got a little bit of a habitat in here. See if I can get down here very carefully. Whoops. See, the ceiling's a bit uneven, so beginning caver would definitely have to watch their heads, not make sure they're not going to bump the ceiling. Especially if they don't have a helmet yet. I'm going to try to stay to the right. Go through the cave counterclockwise, this thing from above. Of course, there's only one tube here. It doesn't branch out at all. So it's not like I can get lost or anything. For an experienced caver, it's definitely an easy cave. But this time of year, it's about all I can do. So, so most people, if there's no trail, they like to stay to the middle. Usually the middle of the cave is where the trail is lowest and the ceiling is highest. So you're least likely to hit your head on the ceiling. But coming up later, there's a trench in the floor right in the middle. So you'll be most likely to fall in if you try to stay in the middle. So I'm on top of a breakdown pile now. You look down here, now it's nice and white and flat. Oops, hang on, the lens is fogging up a bit. So this is what I was telling you about. See, the left side's reasonably flat. The right side is kind of flat, a little bit steep. And right in the middle here, you could fall down like 10 feet, that would probably hurt. So don't do that. Funny part is, yeah, it's a dead end. You can't go much farther anyway. So there's no point in going down there. So rather than try to get down in this trench, I'm just going to stay to the right, try to be somewhat careful. Go way up here, have a look around. Notice how the wall and the floor kind of come together at an angle. That's the way I came. There's the floor, except for that big trench, it's pretty flat. Same thing looking straight across here. The cave's almost 20 feet wide. I'm not going to try to jump across the fence. This isn't Super Pitfall. Yeah. All right. Yeah. What might be a good idea in a video game or in a movie is probably not necessarily the brightest idea to do in real life. Okay. Worst case scenario, if somebody gets badly hurt in the cave, they might close the cave. So yeah, please don't do that. There we go. This looking back, there's the trench. From this end, it's easy to get in and out, but there's no point. Same thing here. Here's a trench. This time the right side is too hard. So this time I am going to go down in the trench. And then I'll come back on that left side there, which is mostly easy. A little bit tricky. If I can just, a little bit tall. It's a little bit steep to do without hands. Using 3 points of contact here. Notice how the ceiling is nice and smooth though. All right. And no, I'm not worried about a flash flood warning. Obviously it's wet in this cave, but there's no creek coming through here. If there were, occasional flooding, it'd be like eroded. You see, it's not really eroded at all. Very rough rock. Now I gotta climb back out of the trench, over a breakdown pile, and come back down in the trench all over again. Man, this is work. All right. The good news is the rocks here have lots of traction. They're not slippery at all. Some caves, the rocks are really slippery. So you have to be super careful, especially when they have ice on them. See, I could go up on that ledge. It's a dead end. The only point though, look up at that. Oh, hold on. The lens is fogging up again. Yeah. See how the ceiling is really rough. Got like small formations on it. All right. Let's see if I can go down here now. Oops. Rock shifted under my weight. A lot of these loose rocks they can teeter-totter. But notice up there, there's that ledge. I could crawl along there. It's just too short to walk. So, but it's a dead end. See, about 50 feet ahead of me to the right. You can't go any farther. So it's not really any point unless you want to go up there and look at the ceiling. Check out the small formations. They're so small, it's like, whatever. Doesn't count. But yeah, again, up there, you couldn't really crawl along anymore. But it's cool, you want to see formations. Look at this. Small formation. Oops, hang on. Stupid lens fogging up. Darn it. Okay. There we go. Not the best formation, but by lava tube standards, it's not too bad. Then notice here on the floor, it's a nice puddle this time of year. We're not very far underground. I think the thickness of the ceiling is probably less than 20 feet. So it doesn't take long for the snow melt above to get down here. Notice how the ceiling sags down funny. Kind of creepy. Obviously we're going downhill too. But yeah, I told you earlier how you could go up on the ledge and see the cool ceiling. Or here, you could just do it from the floor. Look how rough the ceiling is. Kind of pretty. Looks like at the end of the cave I'm going to have to swap lights in my battery. What's cool, look over here how there's kind of small formations. And then here, this rock on the floor, this obviously came from the wall to the right. Look how the wall to the right has different textures. There's like that smooth, glassy black rock, and then sort of rougher purple rock. And all that would be outside the red lining. So there's multiple layers to this tube. Let's see, I'm not going to try to climb over to that side. I'm just going to stay on this side. I'm lazy. Oops. Try to be gentle with the rocks. I'll go over here and look around. That's funny. There's one rock hanging down there. It's shaped almost like a bat. Except bats aren't made of rock. Here we go. Oh, here's something cool. If I can hopefully get it on camera. See that white thing? That's an actual mineral formation. Like a solution cave. So this cave is old enough and wet enough that it's starting to have real formations. Who knows if it lasts hundreds of thousands of years without, being filled in with dirt or anything. It should end up looking really cool. Okay, so this flashlight battery is almost dead. So what I'm gonna do, let me see here. I'm gonna stop here where I use a rock as a table to switch batteries real quick. So yeah, I'll pause the video here a second.